Okay, so this is Hip Hop Battles HHB, and we have another interview, one of the very, very special ones. This is the most special one, I will say, a true legend of the pen game. We have someone that has battled on many platforms, the greatest ones: RBE, URL, KOTD, Grind Time, Don't Flop, and many others. He has battles against the greatest names: Disaster, Tay Rock, Holohan, Torque, Shotgun Shock, Daylight. I could be here all night, so it's a pleasure to have Cortez in the house. How's
What's
everything going
going
on, my
on? What's
man?
going on? Blessed to be here. Blessed to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here, man. A huge honor
I
for me.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. So let's go right into it. I will hit you with the first question, and it's a very, very important question, so the audience can know you better. So, what
All right,
was
let's go.
your very, very first contact with hip hop in your life, man?
My first contact with hip hop,
Yeah.
personally, I would definitely have to say hearing METHOD man on the radio while going to pick up my stepfather from work with my mom's. She played the radio. She was playing Hot 97. We was going over the Brooklyn Bridge. I could still see me as a little kid seeing the Twin Towers before they were taken down.
Hmm.
And that song was playing in the car. And I just was like, what is that? You know what I mean? And like from there, I just started like really like trying to listen to hip hop, always putting on Hot 97, trying to find, you know what I mean, like what was rap? Because I was a kid. I was like 6, 7 years old at the time. So that was my first introduction off the rip.
Wow. And what kind of music did you listen besides rap back then?
Uh, my stepfather, he would always play classic 50s, 60s rock and roll, Elton John, the Beatles, Elvis, all the legends from that era, Motown hits, Michael Jackson, Jackson 5 when they was kids. So I had a really keen sense of American music, and then my
Hmm.
moms would play a lot of salsa merengue. So even, I would get more in touch with my Spanish side and the balance and actually they're nowhere near similar,
Hmm.
but I would know certain songs even if I didn't know what the words meant, if I wasn't old enough to understand what the concept was, I would know these songs. And it just allowed me to understand melody, what sounds good, what's a catchy beat, a catchy hook. And, I think those things allowed me to become who I am and use it in my hip hop days.
Exactly. And can you explain to the audience your Spanish side? What are your roots?
I'm Puerto Rican, Puerto
Exactly.
Rico, Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. It's my family's from, my father's from San Antonio, my mother's from Moca. So, if anybody knows Aguadilla, it's a big area in Puerto Rico. They got the military base out there, an airport out there. Crash Boat is a famous beach out there. That's where Christopher Columbus actually arrived when he got to Puerto Rico. So, it's rich in history.
Hmm.
And, I love my home. I
There,
love it when I go out
there you have it. And do you remember
there.
your first contact with battle rap? How did you get into battle rap? Being from Puerto
Uh,
Rico.
it it was a smack DVD, you know. Again, it's weird. Like I said, my first introduction to hip hop, METHOD man. I end up working with Method Man later on in my career. Same thing with battle rap. First thing I saw was this smack DVD. It was Murder Mook versus Jay Mills, and I
Hmm.
couldn't believe what it was. I said, people are battling on the street? Like, this is crazy, And I used to battle in high school and, do ciphers.
Hmm.
But for someone to document it and put it out, it changed everything for me, my entire concept of what it was,
Hmm.
So that was definitely my first glimpse of what battle rap was gonna become.
Wow. And do you remember how much time was from that first view, that first battle you watched, and then you get it into your first battle for the very first time?
I think it would be about 4 or 5 years. I think I saw the battles between 2001, 2002, and then my first battles where I would go to different neighborhoods and battle dudes and battle dudes in the projects and in the streets or randomly in a park, 2005, 2006.
Wow.
I felt confident enough that I was better than people, and I would jump in ciphers and whatever.
That's a lot of years. Yeah, and on Grind
Mm-hmm.
Time was maybe on 2008, if I'm not
Eight.
mistaken. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a legend from that time. So I wanted to ask you, because there is no better person to ask, how the game has changed from that era to nowadays.
Wow, the game has changed so much. Initially everything was DVD.
Hmm.
The Smack DVDs, people were buying DVDs. That's where they would get their hip hop mixtapes. That's where they would get their hip hop. Once the internet and social media started growing, it allowed battle rap to expand to a whole new level. So, Grind Time was the early glimpses of it. If you watch
Hmm.
the Grind Time battles, you would see it would say grindtimenow.com.
Hmm.
So there was a website to go to watch battles. That was never done before, you know. And then from there it would go to World Star Hip Hop, and then URL made a league, and URL had a site. King of the Dot had a site,
Hmm.
and you start realizing like, yo, like there's battle rap all over the world. Australia, Philippines, Canada, Europe.
Exactly.
So you start realizing like, yo, there's opportunities all over the place if
Hmm.
you get your name up. And being from New York and being in the center of a lot of major battles early on, it allowed me to branch out and build Cortez as a bigger name and a bigger brand.
Hmm.
But the game changed completely from 2008 to 2011.
Hmm.
It just switched.
Totally. And I have a few questions from Battle Cats from different Spanish speaking countries, so it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
I have one from an Argentinian battle rapper. His name is Marquitos. Shout out to him. And he
That's
has
how
this
Mosquito.
question. Yeah. And he has this question about leaks. What are the most important leaks in English language right now and why?
URL is definitely the most important league. They have the streets. They also have the biggest events, and I think the biggest branding
Hmm.
as far as events. They know how to brand an event. You know, if it's a gnome, it's night of main events. You know, you're going to get all the top battles that could be main events on any other card mashed into one. Same thing with Summer Madness. Same thing with it doesn't matter. URL just promotes their cards on a certain way that it's like
Hmm.
amazing. Also, I feel like the best rappers are on URL.
Hmm. For sure.
They brand the talent, they scout the talent, they put you on a platform, and they promote you and they make you a star.
Hmm.
We've seen it time and time and time again. Myself, DNA, Conceited, Charlie Clips, Arsenal, Sue Surf, Young Ill, Averb, Hitman Hot, like the list goes on. We could name up to 50, 60 battlers, that we all had a place somewhere else.
Hmm.
But when we got to URL, it catapulted.
Hmm.
Other leagues that have done that for people is King of the Dot. You cannot deny King of the Dot's influence in the last 10 years. They took a whole different demographic. Anybody that was not so street,
Hmm.
but had dope content, specific writers. I also think King of the Dot is very important for how they shot the battles, how they filmed it. Avocado.
Hmm.
They brought Avocado in the way he filmed these battles and built these trailers up and built the content up. Even URL took pieces of that and worked with him after that. You watched how Mia Hallahan is edited,
Hmm.
the trailer, how it's led up to it. There was nothing like it. You understand? And this is 2012.
Yeah.
So, they was ahead of the curve with the editing and the marketing and stuff. And then, RBE now is also a major force in battle rap. Uh, I also think Flip Top in the Philippines, they are the biggest league. You cannot deny that. They're the biggest league. So I would say those four, and you have to do Queen of the Ring for what they've done for female. So those would be my five major leagues,
There
and
you
shout
have
out
it.
to Remy Ma with Chrome 23. She's doing her thing too.
Yeah, exactly. There you have it. Very good. And I wanted to talk about also about your creative process. how do you write about it? How long does it take you from scratch?
It could take me a week or it could take me a month.
Hmm.
It really depends on the opponent. It depends on the research I'm doing. It depends on a lot of things. If I have another battle lined up, what's more important, which at sometimes, some battles are more important than others.
Hmm.
And you're preparing. So it's a lot of variables. But as far as my process to create for a battle, it's always the same. I do my research. If I met the person before, I'm gonna rap about what I actually think of you. I'm not gonna make up a story and say, "Hey, I met your mother," and you know what I mean, and she was with your brother, and I'm not gonna do that. If I look at you and I know you're a bozo, you're a lame, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm like, yo, you're a bozo, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna give my honest opinions, and if I don't have nothing bad to say about you, then I'm just gonna out rap you, because I still feel like no matter what, with my pen, I'm one of the best flat out rappers in the world.
Hmm.
You know, it's time and time again proven. I've been in this 15 years and people can't just beat me flat out with a pen. So I'm so confident in that I can always rely on my lyricism. And then, just my opinions about you. So I'll break it down and mix it up and you know what I mean? And it just happens every
There
time.
you go. Dope, dope. And I have another question from another battle cat. He's a Chilean battle cat. His name is Basek. Shout out to him as well. And he has this question about how do you address angles and your rival's weaknesses during the battle?
How I address angles is if it's a strong enough angle, I'm gonna talk about it. Like recently, I just battled Kid Slade.
Hmm.
Everyone's talking about he had snitch allegations and paperwork on him. I did my own research. Found out it was his brother, not him. But he still was defending his brother. And
Hmm.
in the streets, we don't defend snitches. So I created that angle. Okay, I'm gonna do something different. I'm not gonna say you're a snitch. I'm gonna break down the actual facts of the case and what's going on and talk to you about it. And I've been doing that since the beginning, no matter who it was. If it was SoulCon, if it was Conceited, if it was Hollahan, if it was Disaster, if it was Twerk, I've always had those angles where I'm going to talk about what you do specifically and how you're involved in it. I feel like angles and making sure they directed your opponent is so important
Hmm.
to making the battle great.
Hmm.
If you keep it too generic, it's just rapping. But the angles and the direct responses to that person is what makes it a battle.
Hmm. Very good. Dope. Yeah, exactly. And I have another question from another battle cat, Chilean battle cat as well. His name is Blast. Shout out to him. And this is very specific question because it's about a battle you had on Verbal Warzone with Beat against Butter from the Block.
Oh,
Yeah,
butter from the block. I
exactly.
smoked him.
And
Ugly.
that's pure fire, man. And his question is, do you think that adding a beat added something else to your performance? And what do you think about battles with beat?
Um, it's two parts to that question.
Hmm.
Beat battles are fun. It's much more fun. It opened up a new Cortez, let's say.
Hmm.
It allowed me to be a rapper's rapper, which I'm always am. A lot of people, after that battle realized I make music. It helped my music sales, it helped my streams. So off the rip, it just made people look at me in a different light.
Hmm.
But for sure, for sure, for sure, battles on beats are an animal. It's a whole different wave. I'm actually working on something to start bringing that more to the light. So all you guys are interested, make sure they hit me. Everybody that's asked a question today, make sure to hit my Instagram. Contact me. Like my doors are open, especially for people of our culture in
Hmm.
this culture in battle rap culture.
Hmm.
I feel like more Latinos need more representation,
For
and that's
sure.
another thing I want to start doing. So as far as beat battles, advice, all this stuff, I want to do this to give you guys the knowledge to the next generation could get and take this thing further. So
Hmm.
beat battles is something I definitely going to work on myself, seeing a response from it. And I feel like, yeah, it just opened up, it unlocked a new level of Cortez, you know? I mean, people just didn't know how good of a writer I was, but actually on beat, creating flows, switching patterns, cadences, it just, it set the bar.
Hmm. For sure. That's pure fire, man. That's a
Thank
huge, huge battle. So go and check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
you. Butter
Uh,
from the block, word.
yeah. Your first round was like, oof, I cannot explain it. And since you are talking about open the door for other people and other cultures, I have one question that is very important for you because if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, you was the very first Latino on URL.
Yes,
How was it?
definitely will.
How was that?
You know, I didn't realize it at the time.
Hmm.
I didn't. You know, I knew that I knew that I had to make an impact.
Hmm.
You know, I knew that I needed to stand out, and I knew that people always came at me for being Spanish.
Hmm.
You know, they would call me Mexican. You know, they would do all these type of things, and I was kind of used to it at that point. So I was starting to learn how to use it against people
Hmm.
and use it before they could do it. So coming into the URL, I was like the flagship Latino in battle rap, you
Yeah.
know? And I was like, oh, like, okay, it is what it is. I'm always going to embrace my people. I'm always going to embrace my culture. I'm never ashamed of where I'm from because it's built my character. And being Latino, growing up in Brooklyn, seeing people look at me twice like, you rap? Nah, you do salsa. Nah,
Hmm.
you a dancer. You ain't no rapper.
Hmm.
You know, that used to fuel me and piss me off,
Hmm.
and it made me better.
For sure.
I was a better writer, better rapper, better performer. I was more vocal, you know, and I just stopped being scared after a while. Like, man, I'm here and I'm better than you. And it gave me that confidence. So, you know, I use it as fuel and I use it as motivation at this point. And still to this day, it works for me.
Great. No, that's for sure one of the greatest things that had ever happened to the Latin community, for sure. So I commend you on
Thank you.
that, my brother. And
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
you're
that.
welcome. Yeah, you deserve it. And one of the questions from another person, this is Juan Ortelli, shout out to him. He has been giving a lot of information for all the culture. Right now, he's doing, and he's in charge of the face off of an Argentinian league called Bazooka. And he
Hmm.
has done a lot for the culture. So he has questions about Total Slaughter, this project. So every single question about this project is from Juan Ortelli. Shout out to him. And the very first
Okay.
question is, how was that experience for you?
It was bittersweet. Um,
Hmm.
my first time on television, um, I didn't like the results of it. You
Hmm.
know, I didn't like the things that happened behind the
Hmm.
scenes that I didn't win. You know, I had to battle on the spot,
Hmm.
and there was certain things that I didn't like. So, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't like how I was represented. You know, like it was a stain for me because I felt like I didn't handle it correctly as a rapper.
Hmm.
As a business person, I knew never to put myself in a position like that again, though.
Hmm.
So it's bittersweet because I learned a lot from that mistake, but I also feel like it was a big mistake for my career, you know. And sometimes you don't need to jump at an opportunity.
Hmm.
If you're constantly going up, going up, going up, stay in your lane and move at your pace. You know, I jumped at an opportunity to be on TV and I only had 2 days preparation.
Hmm.
I should have thought about it and said, nah, man, that's TV.
Hmm.
Let me slow down. Let me make sure I'm ready for something like this, you know? But coming from where we come from, you're gonna always try to defy the odds also.
Hmm.
So, you know, but business wise, it made me realize though, I'll never put myself in a position like that again.
Hmm.
You know, because the episode with me and T Rex on Total Slaughter is still the highest viewed episode to this day.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So that right there speaks volumes for what we did for the show.
Exactly. There you have it. And the second question about this is, at that moment, at that time, do you all think, do you all thought that the sort of reality show was the next step for battle rap at that time?
No,
Hmm.
Um, I don't fault Slaughterhouse. I don't fault Eminem, but I feel like it wasn't done correctly. It's like if you watch the show, they just put us in a house. They don't introduce you to us.
Hmm.
You don't get a background of who we are, what we've done.
Hmm.
You don't get none of that. It's just automatic that either you know who we are or you don't know who we are.
Hmm.
And that's not television, you know?
Hmm.
So it was a lot of things that was rushed out of there that didn't need to be rushed, you know? It could have been done in a way better format, you
Hmm.
know? And it's like I say, it's bittersweet. We learned a lot from that. You know, we got some fame, we got some money off of it, but I just feel like battle rap could have been put in a better light at
Hmm.
that time, especially at that time.
Hmm. There you have it. And the last question about this from Juan Ortelli is: did you meet Eminem in person?
No, no, I didn't meet Eminem there. I met him at a show with Slaughterhouse after though.
Hmm.
We got real cool and they had a show in New York and Eminem actually was there at the show. So we was backstage and oh shit, Eminem.
Hmm.
Hey, what's up, Cortez? He knows who I am? I'm good. I'm good. Eminem knows who I am. I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was pretty cool. You know, he did get us in the Rolling Stone magazine too. So,
Hmm.
his name holds a lot of weight, so shout out to him. But yeah, I met him in passing after that though. So, technically I did, but not during the show, no.
Okay. Okay. So there you have it. Very good. And I wanted to talk about your battles now because, as I
All right.
already said, you have battled many, many of the greatest names in the pen game. So, what are your own favorite battles?
Butter from the block, for sure.
For
Hollahan
sure.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Disaster, twerk. Um, My my recent battle with Kid Slade that just dropped last week is actually one of my favorite battles in a while. Um, the tournament, the Ultimate Madness tournament that I did 2 years ago, official Jack Boy. Um, T Top was one of my favorite battles. Um, wow, man, I had so many. Had Ice, Hitman Holla, Conceited, you know, those, bro, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
know.
so many. Daylight's a great
Daylight.
bad. The 2-on-2s with Math, all of them.
Yeah, the two
You
twos with
know,
Matt Hoffa.
so there's a lot of battles that
Hmm.
you know have been life changing or like really like eye opening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean for me. So, but yeah, man, I could go on for days. But those like maybe what 10 I named, like those are the best ones, man. For me personally, I got crazy in those battles. So. When you put that work in, you put them hours in, and then it reflects, and you see the people react to everything. It's like, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
So it's crazy.
Awesome.
Or
Awesome. And who would you like to battle that you have never battled before?
battled everybody. Um, the one person that I wish I could have got to battle before anything was Pat Stay.
Hmm.
You know, I really, really, rest in peace to him.
Rest in
You
peace.
know, he was a great friend of mine, and I really wish that I had got to battle him before, but he's a legend. Besides him, I don't see many people that I need to battle at this
Hmm.
point. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? That's all.
Huge legend, Pat Stay.
Hmm.
R.I.P. So let's go right into the next question. This battle card from Colombia.
Hmm.
His name is Prodem, and
Okay.
he has this question about other scenes. So, what is your vision about other scenes in other languages? Since you were talking about flip top, for instance.
Well, I want to get into more of the Southern American battle leagues.
Mm.
Um, I see that they're really growing. I see you guys are really tapped in with them too. So, these are things that I love to see it. I love to see it because it's like it's not just here. You know what I mean? Hip hop is a global thing. So that means battle rap needs to be a global thing. We are the essence of hip hop.
Mm.
You know, battle rap is how hip hop started. People rapping on the corners to each other and MCing. It's the root of the entire culture.
Mm.
And if we're going to be a part of it, then we need that to expand as well. So it being in these different countries, from all the rappers that's asked questions today, from Flip Top, from Australia, from Asia, from Africa. I've seen African battle leagues,
Yeah.
Netherlands,
Russia.
Europe, we know of Oxymoron in
Exactly.
Russia. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it needs to keep that way. Like, I love it. I love it. I'm always hyped to travel. I won't have no problems like going out there and supporting these leagues and building with these because end of the day, man, like what are we gonna do? You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like this is what we in it for. I don't want to rap for the rest of my life. Now I feel like I'm in a position where I want to open those doors and give those jewels to, different demographics. That's why I'm on this call in LA this month. Same reason.
Dope, dope, man, for sure. And I have another question from another battle rapper from Colombia. His name is Big Killa. Shout out to him. And
Hmm.
his question is, what is the next step for battle rap in terms of the industry, in terms of techniques, writing, anything? What is the next step?
I think the next step, honestly, is learning how to market the battle rappers to become bigger artists.
Mm.
If we market the artists to become bigger than battle rappers, then the events that we do as battle rappers will become bigger. There'll be more money invested. We won't have to battle as much either. You
Mm.
understand? If you have to battle 2 or 3 times a year, it becomes like a boxing event. A boxer, you might see him fight 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
It keeps you just enough waiting to see their next event.
Mm.
At the same time, they sell out big arenas, they make the money. And when you sell out big arenas, you make the money, then it's put in a different light. It's respected more, it's filmed more, there's more promo around it, press around it.
Mm.
I think battle rap can definitely enter the same space as like WWE,
Mm.
um, the same space as UFC, and that's how it needs to be marketed. And I think the only way to do that is by pushing the battle rappers to be bigger brands because we're rappers at the end of the day. We're the best rappers in the world.
Exactly.
You push us to that limit, everything else will fall in line.
Exactly. There you have it. Very good. And now let's go right into the Loteria event that is coming up. So I want to talk about a few battles, just a few. And let's go
Hmm.
right into your battle against Denter.
Hmm.
Who came up with this idea and what do you think about Denter?
I mean, Epic hit me up and
Mm.
he had told me about him for a while. He was prepping me on him like, yo, I want you to watch this kid. I want you to watch this kid. And I did. I did my research and I said, yeah, this is gonna be a dope battle.
For sure.
Um, I know what I'm coming there to do,
Mm.
and I feel like it's very, very refreshing and exciting for me to enter this type of space. It's very rare that I go into a battle where I haven't done something before. And this battle with Denter, I haven't done that before. Battling a peer of mine's in the Latino culture, and it's more not just straight English, but Spanish rapping.
Mm.
So I feel like, this is gonna be something epic.
Yeah.
No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be epic.
Yeah.
I just hope he's prepared. I'm there to put on a show. I love LA. The last time I was there for their event, me and Cali Smooth put on a show,
Mm.
and this is gonna be no different. Trust me.
For sure. I know. I know. That's why I'm interviewing all of you guys because this is going to be epic and shout out to Epic as well right now.
Well,
Yeah. And what can we expect? Tell the audience, please. What can we expect from Cortez? Because we know Denter pretty well, but what can we expect from you on this battle?
you're gonna expect rhythm. You're gonna expect flow. You're gonna expect patterns. I'm there to put on a show. I'm gonna show all the aspects of rapping.
Hmm.
You understand? I'm not there to do the exposing and no, I'm there to put on a show. I want to show people there's levels to this rap.
Hmm.
And If you want to learn how to take it to the next level of rap, you gotta fuck with Cortez. You gotta tap in. You gotta listen to what he says. The way I'm gonna put these things together. And at the end of the day, this battle was supposed to bridge the gap.
Exactly.
Especially between the North America, South America. You know, um, all the Latino cultures just all on stage at the same time
Mm.
next month. Next week is this is what we're there for. And I'm not gonna be the one that ruins that. I'm gonna set the bar. When I get off that stage, everyone's gonna be like, "Wow,
Yeah.
trust me,
It's gonna be
trust me on
huge.
that.
Yeah.
I'm locked in. I'm zoned in. This is gonna be a movie."
You're a fucking legend, my man. So I'm sure of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know 6 syllables?
We've been getting familiar. I seen it with my boy Terminology, and
Yeah.
me and Term got almost a whole album together. So when I seen
Yeah.
him with Term out there, I said, "Yeah, he's tapped in."
Well,
You know what I mean?
he has a message for you. I
What's
interviewed
the
him like 3 days ago, and he has a message for
uh,
you. The message was, "Don't sleep on Denter, because if
nah,
you sleep on him, he's gonna beat you." That's the message.
not worried.
He
Trust me on
wanted me to say
that.
that. Shout out to six
We locked
syllables.
in. Hmm.
And well, let's go with that battle. 6 syllables against Johnny Storm. What can you tell the audience about that battle?
I think that battle's gonna be crazy. I battled Johnny Storm before. Johnny Storm is a legend in his own right.
Exactly.
He's a person that I watched on the come up and I studied as well.
Hmm.
Storm has been in this longer than me.
Exactly.
So, Syllables he has a tough matchup up ahead of him. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Um, I just think team Team USA. I'm not you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like Storm, he knows what he's going to, do up there. He's a veteran. He knows how to freestyle too.
Hmm.
You know, Syllables can't play with him, man. But I'm going with Storm. I'm going with Storm.
Oh, there you have it, Sick. There you have it. Well, yeah, it's a true legend as well, Johnny Storm, and a great guy. Shout out to Johnny, because we had a great interview, and I know he's going to rock this shit because he has something good coming up for sure.
Big facts.
Yeah. And another one, Loso against Il Máscaras. What can you tell us about that battle?
Loso's one of the best out right now. He's having one of the greatest years and one of the greatest runs. I had tweeted that. I mean, that's like my little brother,
Hmm.
but at this point, that's just my peer. That's my brother.
Wow.
He's one of the best out right now. I think he's the illest on the card right now. And I don't see Loso losing right now.
Hmm.
Just the trajectory he's on, the path he's on, the pace he's at right now. I hope he's ready on the 18th because Loso is locked in. We were just speaking earlier.
Hmm.
He's locked in for real.
Yeah, I already interviewed Loso, and he told me that you were his favorite battle rapper. So it's huge from both parts, your words and his
Yeah, man.
words. Yeah, yeah.
That's my brother right there, man.
There you have it. And do you know Il Máscaras and his work?
I'm not. I got to do some more research on
Hmm.
him. And there's another person on the card I want to do more research on. But I heard he's really, really, really dope.
Hmm.
A friend of mine that grew up with me, he's Mexican from my block. He raps too.
Hmm.
And he seen the card and he hit me up. And that's the main person he was talking about.
Hmm.
He was like, yo, Mascas, yo, he's battling Loso. Yo, he's crazy. Yo, Cortez, tell Loso don't play. I said, word. As he said, yo,
Yeah.
he wants to fly to Cali. I told him I might just fly him out to Cali with me because when he heard all you guys was on the card, he was super hyped. I was like, yo, you know everybody? He said, yo, everybody. Yeah, he was like, yo, that's a huge card. I
Yeah.
said, oh,
Those
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah. It's
huge
gonna be a
names.
movie.
Yeah,
It's
for
gonna be a
sure.
movie.
For sure. In fact, Johnny Storm told me that for him, that's going to be the battle of the night. Loso against Il Máscaras. So we're about to
Fire.
see it. Yeah. And just two more battles to talk about. Danny Myers against Juan Zarate. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Danny is just a Danny works hard. Danny just battled yesterday. I just had his
Yeah.
battle yesterday against Chess.
Against Loso.
And yeah, no, he battled Loso Saturday. He
Saturday.
battled
Yeah.
Chess yesterday.
He's
He,
crazy,
he
man.
did two battles 2 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? One in Cali, one in New York. Like, But one thing I will say, man, he's the hardest working battle rapper out. He's the one of the most consistent. Um, that's the other guy I need to do the research on. What's his name?
Juan Zarate.
Danny.
Juan
Yes,
Zarate.
that's the other guy. And my boy was telling me too. He was like, "Yo, he's crazy.
He's
If
crazy.
Danny's not prepared,
Yeah, he's a
like he
beast.
has flows, he has a real like aggressive pattern." He
Yeah.
said. So I definitely gonna study those two guys like this week. But yeah, definitely. Like I'm not going against Danny Myers though. Like
Hmm.
Danny has proven me time and time again his pen. You know.
And do you believe in a parallel universe?
I do.
Yeah, you
Big
you
facts.
you have to check out Juan Zarate, because another interesting fact about this battle is that it's going to be his first battle in English for Juan Zarate.
Oh, really?
However, is his native language, so it's going to be
Oh, yeah.
pure
Yeah,
fire.
so
Yeah. And the
um,
last one to talk about,
awesome.
Eptos Uno against Arsenal. Exactly. And you have battled all those
Awesome.
guys: Arsenal, Johnny Storm,
Yeah.
Danny Myers as well. So, can we?
hmm
What can we expect from Arsenal? I know, but tell the audience, please.
I mean, also gonna be disrespectful. He's gonna be super disrespectful. He's gonna have all the Spanish jokes. He's gonna just go out there and put on a show.
Hmm.
Arsenal is electrifying. He's a performer. He's his sportsmanship, his charisma, the way he sells his bars.
Hmm.
He is super polished. He's a legend for a reason.
Hmm.
He's one of the highest viewed battlers for a reason.
Hmm.
Suno got a he got a lot to work on his hands.
Hmm.
And if anybody could do it, it is him. But Arsenal's a lot to deal with. Even when you're 100% fully prepared for Arsenal,
Hmm.
you still have a rough day in the ring with him. You know what I'm saying? So, and Arsenal hasn't been battling lately, so he's clipped up.
Hmm.
So Epto, he really, really got to be locked in for this.
For sure, for sure. And did you watch the battle, uh, Cali's move against Eptos? Did you watch that?
Fire back,
What
fire
do you think
battle.
about Eptos in English?
No, he did good. He did real good,
Hmm.
and now it's time for him to elevate even more. Now
Yeah.
Arsenal's even a bigger step, So, like I say, man, November 18th is gonna be a movie, man. You know what I mean? If people don't have their tickets or if they don't have the pay-per-view, they need to cop it now.
Right
Like it's
now.
going to be a movie. Trust me, it's gonna be something that's never been done before, and that's what Cortez wants to be a part of.
Exactly, exactly. There you have it. And well, I have another question from another battle cat. He's Mexican battle cat, Blue One, and he has
Okay,
a very very simple question for you. Very easy and simple. Would you battle in Mexico?
I would love to. All they gotta do is reach out to me. We do the right thing. I've been wanting to go out there to different places. It's just no one's really reached out or it has the bridge hasn't been connected, and
Hmm.
that's what I was hoping with this card this can do. I would love to battle out there.
There you have it.
Love to battle out there.
There you have it. Perfect. Dope, my man. And well, I wanted to ask you one more thing before ending the interview with another thing, but this is important because for us, the Latin community was like the tipping point. Disaster against Assassino. Did you watch that battle?
Watch that battle. That would happen what last year, 2 years ago.
Like two
I
years
watched that
ago, if
battle.
I'm not mistaken.
hmm
Yeah, and for us it was huge. That was like the tipping point, and it
hmm
changed everything in our culture.
Definitely did.
So, what is your point of view about that battle in particular, and what was the impact for you?
Well, I think him beating Disaster was really crazy. No one really expected that.
Hmm.
You know, Disaster, no matter what people say, he has opened doors for a lot of different regions in the culture. And, it's smart that he does that,
Yeah.
and it introduced us to just Asino and, people I knew of him,
Hmm.
but a lot of people was like, who's this guy? What is it? And I'm like, yo, y'all gotta do your research,
Hmm.
and even just the way he performed, the way everything was, it was, it showed that we belong as a people in this culture.
Hmm.
It showed that Latinos in general, like we're stamped. You know what I mean? And we got to be respected. And we've carved out our own lane.
Hmm.
And for me, that's very important.
Hmm.
Because for many years I felt like it was just me.
Hmm.
And now that I'm seeing that, all these different regions and artists coming up, I I take pride in that. I really do. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And what do you think about the performance from Assassino and Disaster? Because both they didn't speak well Spanish and English.
Mhm. I think that was a great thing, and I think it opened the door for that because it's like it challenges your pen, which is
Exactly.
how I feel like that's what's gonna be with me and Denta.
Hmm.
Like it's really gonna challenge my pen, and for 15 years in, for something to be challenging to me is what makes it fun.
Hmm.
That's what makes it fun. I'm not just going in there to rap. I'm going in there to prove something and show the world that I can do this too. So November 18th.
There you go. There you have it. And well, this is the second to last question. And we have another person that is very, very important and was also very important to the culture. Danny, shout out to him. Danny Háblame de Punch. And he
Uh-huh.
has been doing a lot of things for the culture, bringing the techniques, the concepts, and everything else. So he has another question for you, and it's the following question. You have battled a lot for a lot of years, more than 100 battles, the greatest names.
Mhm.
So, what are your next goals?
My next goal now is to work on the beat battles.
Hmm.
And I've been working on documentaries and more of a content pitching around hip hop and Latinos in hip hop. I don't want to give away the ideas,
Hmm.
but I am really diving into documenting certain aspects that haven't been touched on in hip hop.
Dope.
So trust me on that. Like I definitely want to open the doors and me knowing all the relationships that I have with people, I can bridge those gaps to bring those worlds together. So trust me, I got
Amazing.
some ideas.
Amazing. I wish you the best with that. Amazing. And well, to end the interview, I just have two more questions because this is a top five with battle rappers and with MCs artists. So let's go with
Okay.
the top five best battle rappers of the history in your own terms. Your favorite five battle
Cortez,
rappers.
Cortez,
He's good though.
Cortez, no, no, no. Cortez, DNA,
DNA.
Math Hoffa, um, Loaded Lux,
Hmm.
and I would have to say, mm, say Cortez, DNA, Math Hoffa, Loaded Lux, and I would have to say, so many other people,
Yeah, I know. It's a difficult
Um,
question.
and I'll go with Misfit because I feel like Misfit's the dopest female battle rapper
There you
of
have
all
it.
time. That's my
Perfect.
sis, but yeah, I feel like she's the dopest.
Perfect. There you go. And also you
And
have
as far as mainstream,
two on two with DNA and Matt Hoffa as well.
hmm
Yeah.
my
And
brother's right
yeah. And the last question, very last question, and this is very important for the audience as well, and for me personally. I would like to know what kind of rappers, what kind of MCs you admire. So top five again, but with rappers, or it could be groups as well, like crews.
there. Listen, Method Man is at the top of my list. He's done so much for my career. All the records we've done. He's at the top of my list.
Hmm.
You know, besides him, Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls, I would say Eminem,
Hmm.
and I would say 50 Cent. I learned so much from watching them and just learning from them and studying from them how to make music and how to become my own artist with them. So, that right there. And a strong six, I have to put Joe Buttons in there because I learned so much from how he used to rap as well.
Hmm.
So, I those guys right there are everything to me. Nobody can tell me anything about them.
Dope, dope. So that's it. Your last words for the audience, my man.
November 18th, the bodega is open. pull up, pop out, cop the pay-per-view, watch the battle, or be there and get your tickets. It's gonna be a movie. Brooklyn to LA. You heard?
There you have it. There you have it. So it was a huge honor for me to have you on my channel, man. This is going to impact a lot for the Latin community
Nah, I
and the
appreciate you.
crossover. So thank you very much for this, my man. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Anything you guys need, like I said, anybody that had the questions for me, tell them tap in, hit my Instagram. I want to really connect with a lot of these people, and let's figure out ways for me to go to Mexico and go to these different leagues. I definitely want to come out there and scope out the talent and see what's going on.
For sure, for sure. So there you have it. Shout out to I Evolve TV. Shout out to Epic Saga for giving us this amazing card. And see you next time. Stay tuned because we have more interviews in English, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and even in Russian. So see you next time. Bye bye, my man.
My boy.
There you have it.